I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 130. Just a little reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Also, please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate the love that you guys give. I'm your host, Dave Rattino. This is my co-host, Dan. We took a couple weeks off. Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Well, as everyone probably knows, and everyone's been clamoring for, we have been away. We are now back. We took a few weeks off, right? Took some time.
We had a little mini vacation.
Mm-hmm. Had a little mini vacation. You know, we kind of recharged ourselves a little bit. Took some time off. Took some time to play some games. Took some time to get away from some games. We needed that. But we're back. We have a mega episode this week, right?
It's like the back to school / Gamescom / PAX Prime edition show, all in one.
Yeah, so much has come out over the last 3 weeks, and we're gonna get through all of it. But
before we get into all of it, Dave, what have you been doing for 3 weeks? What have you been doing for 3 weeks?
Well, I'd say this. Most recently, I don't know if you've seen this documentary series on Netflix called The Staircase.
No, never.
It is a crime documentary. I love these. It is in the vein of like Making a Murder and The Jinx, if you know those. But it's basically all about this this suspected murder. I guess. Well, there was there was a death that happened in this guy's house, this guy's mansion. He's apparently very rich, or rich enough to have a mansion at least. He has a very big house. And apparently his wife fell down the stairs, hence the staircase, right? But then, like, as this investigation goes on, like, so many other wrinkles come into play, right? Turns out he had a previous wife who also died via a staircase accident, right? And it's very weird. People speculate that her head had kind of some blunt force trauma and whatnot. That there was kind of a bit of a struggle. And this and that, and just it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like
you're really. I see you're really into it.
It's good, man. It is great. If you're looking for something to watch and you do enjoy crime dramas, this one is done very well. Yeah, I'm in. I'm like maybe halfway through it, and I'm loving it. So
I'm trying to get caught up with all my Marvel Netflix shows. Your
Daredevils, your Luke Cages, and all that, right?
Luke Cage season 2, Jessica Jones season 2.
That's right.
I just can't seem to finish Iron Fist season 1.
I hear that's not very strong. I hear it's probably one of the weakest. Yeah,
it is the weakest. Right. And I feel like I can't watch the Defenders until I finish.
See Iron Fist, right?
Iron Fist,
because I think that came out. I think that was the last one, and then that kind of set up the Defenders.
Yes,
right? And then you have your Avengers style team up series.
But I've already started watching Luke Cage season 2 and Jessica Jones season 2.
Oh, see. Well, Jessica Jones season 2 came out, I think, even before Iron Fist did, right?
No. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage season 2s are after the Defenders.
Oh, I see. So you are watching it out of order.
I am, but they sort of don't have anything to do with the Defenders, right? They're their own standalone stories, right?
I got you.
I know when I watched
Thor Ragnarok, right? They go to some foreign planet, and
When I finally watch the Defenders, I will understand the first episodes of season 2.
Right?
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Right? You're like, how did they end up here? Wait a minute.
How did they get there? Wait,
why are they in Staten Island?
How did they get to Connecticut? I thought he was in jail.
Right?
So I figured that.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I got caught up with that.
Good deal.
All right, so why don't we get into some quick takes? Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of video game release dates and delays were announced in the last couple of weeks. So why don't we just like go through them, because there's some notable ones I want to talk about.
Right.
Let's start out with one of the key delays was Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So remember we talked about this because the box art sort of said it was only going to be Spyro 1, and then Spyro 2 and 3 would be downloadable.
Downloads. Yeah.
Yes. Now this
The
has been
internet.
delayed.
The internet went crazy over this. The internet said no.
We went crazy over this.
We went
right?
crazy over this.
We went crazy over this. So it was delayed from September to November 13th.
Mm-hmm. Guaranteed because of the public outcry. Okay, we'll put the games on the disc. We'll give
All
them
three. All three better be on this disc, especially
Right?
if it's being delayed to
Right.
November.
So they're
right?
doing the right thing in this case. I will be getting this game because of that. Guaranteed.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 5. That was delayed to November 20th. There was like a whole everyone weren't so like gun ho about Battlefield 5. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
And they said because of sort of all the feedback from the demos and gameplay trailers that they are taking time to delay it to make it even better, and subsequently moving it out of the way of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know about video games, it's and this also goes for movies too. Don't put your little game next to the summer blockbuster, right?
Yeah, but
You
Battlefield is not a little game though.
No, it's
Battlefield
not.
is
It's
a
not.
major
No.
player.
Battlefield, well, right, but I mean, look at like Titanfall. You know,
Well, Titanfall wasn't a major player, but it got sandwiched in between.
Titanfall was a AAA game, though. It had a story mode and all that. It came out.
Yeah,
from
but
a
it was
major
still
studio.
a new IP. It was still sort of new IP, right?
It was part 2. Titanfall 2. I'm
Well-
referring to specifically.
Well, Titanfall 2 sort of was the first time. It was sort of like I know it was the second version, but it was sort of like the first time they have a story mode. So we don't know any of the characters. So this
Yeah.
was sort of like a new IP, essentially. And they
Sure.
sandwiched it between Call of Duty
And it didn't do well.
and Battlefield. Yes,
Right, and it didn't do
at
well.
all. And it was a fantastic game. You liked it. You beat it.
It was a great game. Yeah. The story mode was good. The boss battles were great. You know, I'm glad that I finished it.
I still have to go back to that. That's actually
Man.
That's actually on my list
You should.
for this year to go back and beat.
Mm-hmm.
I think I made it. I literally made it through like maybe 40, maybe 50% of it,
Right.
and I move on.
No,
I
you can
moved on to something
definitely
else.
you can definitely take it to the end. It's not that hard.
I know, but I sort of forgot. I forgot the mechanics. Right?
Right.
We talked about this. We talked about this all the time about like what happened.
I know. To get back into a game, you know, there is no like. I suppose you could go back and go through the beginning tutorial mode again, but I want a little thing like, hey, you haven't played for a while. Here's some basic controls, and take 2 to 5 minutes, you know, to kind of be like, all right, are you good? And then get you back into where you were.
Yeah. So this makes sense. If there was a bunch of negative feedback from the demo and gameplay, just get it out the way. Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to steamroll over everything, right?
That's right. It's going to be the game that people were talking about for months, right?
Yeah. And then Call of Duty doesn't have a story mode. It's all multiplayer.
That's
You get it
right.
out of the way of that. Let all the guys who want a multiplayer shooter for the holiday get a couple of weeks of that, and then they can probably check you out during, they check you out before Thanksgiving.
I mean, it's still in time for Christmas 1, you know?
It is.
You can definitely still get those games underneath the tree.
And here it starts, Christmas 1. I'm just shaking my head.
It is. There's Christmas 1, and then there's Christmas 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No. Oh, you know what? We just got through talking about Titanfall 2, correct?
Uh-huh.
All right. So tell me, what was the name of the first game?
Titanfall 1.
No, it wasn't Titanfall 1. It was Titanfall.
Would you not refer to it? Would you not refer to it now as the first Titanfall or Titanfall 1 to differentiate it from Titanfall 2?
No, I was just saying when Titanfall came out, it was this.
Which
And when
one?
Titanfall 2
And I
came
would ask you a follow-up question. Which one?
Well,
One or
let me
two?
finish talking.
You might
And
as
know
well
what?
just clarify.
And you know what? And I'll work backwards then. You know what? I can't wait for Titanfall 3 because Titanfall 2 was cool and the original Titanfall was
Well,
just
there you go. It's the
multiplayer.
same as saying Titanfall 1 in the original Titanfall. That means the same thing. 1.
Just say, you know what?
OG, Titanfall Prime.
Say they're Just say the original Christmas.
The original Christmas, yeah. The OG Christmas.
You know what? Yeah. It's in time for the OG Christmas. Just say the OG Christmas. Christmas. Oh man. All right. You want to talk about one? Sekiro Shadow Die Twice.
One. Sekiro 1. Oh, I love that. Sekiro I love that game coming out.
We don't know if it's going to be a 2 or a 3, but we know there's one.
Yeah, right.
We finally got a release date for that. It's coming out March 22nd, 2019. I'm surprised, not coming out February 22nd, like every other game next year.
All right.
So
it always seems to happen. One time a year is when all the blockbusters come out.
Well, that was the creator of Dark Souls, right? Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and he pretty much said that there won't be a Dark Souls 4.
Interesting.
So, and there were no talks about a Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, as you had speculated, like I think a Bloodborne 2 is going to go.
I still think a Bloodborne 2 is going to be it's something that will happen. It just
makes sense. It did so well, even though it was a PS4 exclusive, it sold phenomenally well. Everyone ate it up. Everyone loves the Soul style games. Bloodborne is the Soul style games. It's a little different. I think it's more blocking and less dodge rolling. I think, but it's essentially the same game, right?
I think that's going to be a launch game for PS5.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, even if they don't do Titanfall, or not Titanfall 4, Dark Souls 4, there will be a new series in the Soul style vein gameplay, guaranteed. They are not done.
All right, so we won't get Dark Souls 4, but you can still get Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch, and you can still get Dark Souls Trilogy Collection. Say that 10 times fast.
Dark Souls Trilogy, and so on. I got you.
Okay. Well, we got a release date. It's coming out October 19th. And the trilogy would actually get a limited physical edition collection with all the DLC from all the games for $79.99.
It's a pretty good deal, I think. It's a pretty good deal.
But if the trilogy is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But if you want to get Dark Souls 1 remastered for the Switch, it comes out also the same day. Why even? I just don't understand why. This is a money grab. Like, it just is a money grab. They just remastered Dark Souls 1 for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and obviously the Switch, which was delayed. And now they're putting out a trilogy collection.
Well, sure. I mean, it's
why even do the remastered Dark Souls 1 in the first place? Just do the trilogy.
So you don't get the remastered version in the Dark Souls trilogy, probably, right?
No,
or do
I don't think these are the remastered versions. I think these are just
two and 3 didn't have remasters. Only the first one did.
I think these are just the 3 games. I don't think they're remastered at all.
Well, I think you can still get
all the DLC.
Well, Dark Souls 3 I know came out in PS4 and Xbox One. I have the Xbox One version of Dark Souls. Dark Souls 3, I should say. Dark Souls 2, I suppose, got ported, right? It would have to have.
Probably did. Probably did.
You know. It's I could see them not putting in the remastered version in the Dark Souls trilogy, but it's right there. Well, it's also $60, and that would be like 2/3 of the price of this whole entire thing. So maybe
why
that's
not?
why not? It out.
From day one, right? Just say, here's the trilogy, right? Dark Souls 1 is remastered completely. Just do that. So if you want the remastered,
that'd be great. That'd be a hell of a deal. Let me tell you, that'd be a hell of a deal.
With all the DLC ever. That's great.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a deal.
All right. Also coming out in October, Luigi's Mansion on Nintendo 3DS. You know, I'm getting and this is also a remaster, right? Well, not remaster, but this is also a re-release because I already have Luigi's Mansion on GameCube.
Well, sure, but it was a was a launch title for the GameCube. It was one of the 6 games.
I will be getting this game.
I have a quick side note trivia for you. Can you name all 6 games that were launch titles for the GameCube?
No. That is easy. No.
I can tell you. Madden 2002, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Super Monkey Ball, Rogue Squadron 2? Star Wars? Star Wars Rogue Squadron or Rogue Squadron 2? Luigi's Mansion. And... Oh, that's only 5, right?
That is only 5.
There was one more. Damn, I can only name 5, huh? I know it's gonna come to me. My own trivia question.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know I own Monkey Ball, and I know I got Tony Hawk, and I know I got Madden. Those are like the 3 games I got. Luigi's Mansion. Anyway, it'll come to me. Anyway.
Was it like Wave Race?
I don't think it was Wave Race. I think Wave Race was a little bit later. Maybe it was Wave Race. Blue Storm?
Yeah, I think it was Wave Race. It could have been Wave Race. Because that was the last. Wasn't that the last like Wave Race game we got?
I think so. I don't think they made any for the Wii and anything else after that. Wow. Yeah, it was Wave Race.
Look at that.
Look at that poll. All right. Nicely done. Wave Race, Blue Storm. Anyway.
All right, Devil May Cry coming out March 8th. The Shovel Knight Saga. This is the last of the DLC. Okay. This is coming out April 9th. If you already own the game, if you only own Shovel Knight, you get, the last of the DLC. April 9th. But they will be putting out Shovel Knight Saga, all 3 expansions on one disc, or cart if you have a Switch. Coming out for Switch and PS4 April 9th. I will be picking this up for the Switch because they have a 3 amiibo set coming with it, with Spectre Knight, who I love. I love using Spectre Knight over Shovel Knight. He's my favorite knight.
Spectre Knight over Shovel Knight. Wow. Spectre Knight is awesome. Better than the Plague Knight. Plague Knight we can all agree is the bottom of the
the weakest. Right. Plague Knight is the weakest. 100%.
And the new one you play is the King Knight, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what mechanic is going to be there. That's a hard call. I'd probably have to go with the OG Blue Shovel Knight top.
You can't go wrong with that. But I just love the Spectre Knight. Just the Spectre Knight mechanic.
Yeah, he's awesome. He looks great. He's got that little like upward like scythe move. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And lastly, Let's Sing 2019. It's coming out for the Wii.
Oh,
they just won't let the Wii die. They just won't let the Wii die.
I know a one Mr. Robinson who will be picking up this game. He's very happy about this news.
I'm not happy about this.
You
news.
I got
Just Dance 2018 for the Wii.
The only reason you have that is because you thought it was the last game that would be released for the Wii.
I will be continuing to buy all the Just Dance games and the Let's Sing games for the Wii.
This is like Madden. This is like Madden football. How you could still get Madden football games for the PlayStation 1 up until like 2004, until they ended up killing it. Right? They made a PlayStation 1 version. They made a specific version because you can't just take the PlayStation 2 engine or the Xbox engine and just try and squeeze it onto the PS1. It's completely different hardware. It's nowhere near as powerful. They have to make a specific version for PlayStation 1. It's crazy.
But I guarantee this is coming out for Wii U too, which, it's...
Oh, of course.
So I'm going to have to buy this twice.
Let's Sing is going to be on everything. My microwave's going to have a copy of Let's Sing.
I'm gonna buy this. You know why? Because I want the last game for the Wii. They need to stop at some point. At some point, it needs to end. You don't just want to bust out the microphone and start doing some. I don't even have a microphone.
start doing some Gloria Gaynor covers. Well, okay. You don't have a microphone.
With a collector's edition, I'll buy it with the mic.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas now. I'm getting you a Wii compatible microphone, so you can sing your Gloria Gaynor.
Thank you. Please just make this be the last. Don't have a Let's Sing 2020. Please let this be.
I want that to happen now.
Don't let this happen. All right. So let's get into the games coming out this month. Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Yep.
That's coming out for PS4, Xbox One, PC September 4th.
This is the brand new DLC, right?
This is a brand new DLC that's coming out. Also, you have Dragon Quest 11. That I know you're excited about that. You said you were going to pick this up.
Hell yeah, I am.
It's coming out the same day.
Surprisingly coming out for PS4 and PC. You'll be getting the PS4 version, of course. Love my Dragon Quest.
Love your Dragon Quest. A game that I will be picking up because I pick it up every year, and I've picked it up every year since man, I can't remember. Since I didn't get the Dreamcast ones. But I love my 2K games. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm getting NBA 2K19 coming out September 7th, and I may pick up NBA Live 19, which comes out the same day. It's funny that they come out the same day.
Right?
They're in direct competition with each other, and they come out the
course they
same
are.
day.
They're the only two basketball games in town. The only licensed professional basketball games in town. I mean, you got
But-
your Battlegrounds and your whatever else, but yeah.
But again, I'm definitely picking up day one, September 7th, also same day. Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4.
This I think we're both pretty hyped about this game. There is some controversy over this game.
Puddlegate. Puddlegate.
There is a Puddlegate. We will get into it a little bit later because it ties into one of our news stories, but it's very interesting.
I gotta say,
fans are up in arms.
You know what? They can put their arms down. I haven't watched much footage
Such
of
an
this at all.
apologist.
I have not watched. I don't want to see any footage. I want to play the game. Okay, I want to play the game. There are spoilers out there. Okay, because the game actually has leaked a little bit. I have stayed away.
Oh, you don't want the story ruined for you, Mr. Dan Robinson. I will ruin your game for you and/or your movie without even being asked.
Listen. If the game has been out for more than 6 months or a year, okay,
You've ruined games that have been out for a month.
That's a lie.
I gotta put the brakes on this man right here. You're a roller coaster train that has gone off the rails.
That is a lie.
Sometimes I can't stop you. Oh no!
You don't want me
go
to
back
see
in
a
the
movie that's been out for 10 years. Just go watch the stupid movie.
Yeah, okay, 10 years, that's fine. You can ruin it. Even a year out, I think it's fair to ruin it.
No, you get mad at me when I spoiled something that was out for like 10 years, and I was like, just watch the movie.
Because I was gonna play it. That's why. Because it was on my backlog, and I was gonna play it. And
you know what? Hurry up and play it. What's stopping you? Play it on easy.
I could ruin so much stuff for you, but I won't. But it won't. Because I'm
You know
a nice
what?
guy.
You know what? Other than Spider-Man, I don't care. You know what? If you want to ruin Battlefield 5,
I don't care.
If you want to ruin Battlefield 5, I don't care. Go ahead.
You're not gonna play Battlefield 5.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna buy Battlefield 5.
I will ruin Life is Strange 2, coming out September 27th. I will play and beat that game before you because I know how much you love that game.
Episode 1, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. All right. You know what? Fine. Go ahead. You can ruin it. That's fine.
Oh yeah,
I don't care.
yeah. All right.
Why? Because there's multiple endings. Ha.
I will ruin all of those endings for you. I will play every which way.
You will play for hours and hours all day.
I will, specifically to ruin that for you and make you upset.
And you know what? If this was 10 years from now, I wouldn't care.
It won't be. It'll be days after the game comes out.
Dave would care. 10 years from now, Dave would still care.
Listen. If it's a thing I plan on seeing or a game that I bought recently that I'm going to play, it may not have come out right away. Don't ruin it. Give me a little time to play it.
It's
all right?
been 10 years. It
doesn't matter what it is.
One game that was
doesn't
10
matter
years
what it is.
ago.
Okay, I never heard about this game before. I just found out about it, and now you're like, "Well, it's been out for 10 years." Right? There's no excuse.
You still just can't get over it. Just get over it.
You're harsh. Anyway,
you know what I'm getting you for Christmas? Because you need this.
What?
I'm gonna get you a Nintendo Labo vehicle kit for the Switch. It comes out September 14th. I'll get you a little helmet too to put in your head.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely talked about Labo at length. I don't have kids. You don't have kids that we know of.
The fishing rod seems pretty cool.
I don't think it's for us. They do look really cool. I would build it, play it once, and then put it away on a shelf.
All right. So I will be honest. If I bought a Labo kit, I wouldn't build it at all. You would just
keep it pristine in the box.
That's
also fair.
Pristine in the box, and 20 years from now, it'll be worth. Who knows? It'll be the most expensive. It'll be the most
cardboard
expensive
on the shelf.
Cardboard. It'll be the most expensive cardboard in history.
I don't think it's going to go up in value that much.
I think it will. This holiday season will be a telling holiday season for Labo.
Are people going to care about the original Labo stuff in like 5, 10 years, 15 years? I mean,
yes. Collectors will, because it'll be the most expensive cardboard in history. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah. You do you have anything to say to all the people that collected Beanie Babies?
I don't know. I think that was before my time. Is that
I'm just saying, people ended up banking on it real quick, and even the ones that were like rare for the first couple months
You know what?
They're like
I'm
$5.
gonna buy all the Labo kits, and when I finally have kids, who knows how many years from now, I'm gonna open it up and be like, let's play some Labo.
There you go. All right.
Put it together.
There you go. That's a thing you can bet on.
All right. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This is the last in the trilogy, coming out for PS4, Xbox One, PC, coming out September 14th. A game that you love so much. You have a special connection with your brother with this game.
That's right.
FIFA 19.
Yeah,
It's
baby.
actually coming out for the Switch and
I know,
PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah.
September
yeah.
28th.
Not surprising. PS3 as well, obviously. It's coming out for everything. I will definitely be getting 2 copies of this, one to send to my brother and one for me. Because he's stubborn. He says 18 is fine. Oh, no. FIFA 17 is fine. FIFA 16 is fine. I'm like, sure, it's essentially the same game, but better graphics. FIFA 18 definitely took advantage of the Xbox One X and all the hardware and all that. Updated rosters and teams and all that. FIFA 18 had a huge update for the World Cup, which was great. That was like really cool. You wouldn't get that in the previous version. So, yeah, I'm going to buy it.
And then we have, lastly, Dragon Ball Fighters. It's going to come out for the Switch the same day, September 28th. I probably am not going to pick this up. I already have it. I already have the special edition for PS4. I don't really need to have this one to go. I like my fighters to be on my PlayStation because I love using I love using the PlayStation controller for my fighters. So I'm probably going to skip this. If I see it in the bargain bin one day for $15, maybe I'll pick it up. But I'm not going to be a day one.
Sure.
So Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, well, I mean, since we've been off from recording for a couple weeks, we managed to beat a way out. Spoilers, which was great. We were pretty close to the end. We have now completed that. Got both endings, which was great. No achievements for it for some reason.
I beat you in the first time. I'm just saying. I did.
All right. Congratulations. Have a cookie. I'm still playing.
Can I get macadamia?
Sure.
White chocolate macadamia.
Sure. Okay. White chocolate. Jesus.
Yeah, white chocolate macadamia.
All right.
Subway.
Very specific.
Fresh.
I am still playing Persona 5. Surprise. That game is long.
How's that going?
Good.
What year are you in? What month?
I'm in the end of June. I'm in the 3rd palace. I'm in a giant bank vault, which is awesome. There's some like corrupt mafia guy. I'm trying to change his heart, which is awesome. And I'm in the giant middle of the palace. I think I'm almost done with it. Where you have to move all the pieces in the center of the bank vault to like open the lockup, which is super cool. And Dragon Warrior 3 on the go, and Overcooked 2 just came out for the Switch. The game is great. And it finally has online multiplayer, not just local co-op, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You get any good pickups?
I did get some good pickups. Before we get into the pickups, though, I want to know what you've been playing. You're getting ahead of the game here.
So we're going to beat a way out. Sort of my pickups and what I've been playing go hand in hand a little bit.
Okay.
I actually picked up Shenmue 1 and 2 for PS4. It's not a remaster. It's just it's not a remaster. It's a re-release.
I mean they have upped resolution and some other small things in there. I mean they didn't just straight port it.
It looks like a straight port. It looks horrible.
Well, it's not in 640 by 480. It's in like 1080.
It's not a remaster.
Yeah,
okay.
Right,
it's not a remaster.
It's not a full-on remaster.
It's 100% not a remaster. This is not really this is not an action game like I thought it was back when it first came out. God, we've come a long way. I've been playing Shenmue 1, and I got to be honest, I'm just like the loading time. Like every time you open a door, you got to wait and load and go through, and it's like, oh my God, how did we play games back in the day when we were younger?
Yeah, right. We had all the time in the world. That was the thing.
And this was I remember this being amazing when it first came out because it's so open world that you do whatever you want, right? So I've been playing, I played maybe like an hour or two of Shenmue 1. I've been playing. You would be surprised. You're gonna be shocked. I've been playing Dragon Quest Builders in the PS4.
Oh, very nice. I'm clapping for you right there. And you like it, right? It's good, right?
It's like Minecraft meets, Dragon Quest.
Yeah, right. You build your own little world and whatnot. You fend off monsters. Like
I
got
played
all the good stuff in there.
Listen, I played the demo on the Switch,
Mhm.
but I didn't buy it for the Switch because I already had it for PS4. I have the Day One edition. I've been sort of mini addicted to this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was sort of like the last thing I was playing.
Right.
Well, other than The Way Out, since we just beat that last night.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to Batman Arkham City
Mm-hmm.
for the Xbox One. I took a break from that to play Dragon Quest Builders. I've been playing Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate on the Vita. I've been taking my Vita. I've been taking my Vita on the go.
Interesting.
I think I'm a good 50%. I'm a good 50% way through that game. I'm almost done.
Nice.
I had to take a break from that to play the Flashback, another game I picked up on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I only played maybe 30 minutes of Flashback. I never really liked that game. I wasn't big on Flashback. So, I have it for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, man.
The controversial Dead Cells. I picked that up. Been playing that on the Switch.
Yeah. The game, not so much. The
game, not so much.
Philip Mewson, the reviewer, causing all the controversy.
Yeah. Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance.
I hated how they named all those.
Well, it's pretty much sort of like the remake of the best game ever made, the best Super Mario game ever made, Super Mario World.
Right.
So I've been playing that.
It is a very good game, but why not release them in order, right? Like, obviously Mario 3 is the best. If you're going to do that, put that one out first.
Best NES game. But that was
but actually I think they may have put Super Mario Brothers 3 out first because it was the best. And then they put out Mario World, the second best Mario game of all time.
No. They put out Super Mario World, I think, first, and then put out Super Mario.
No, because
World 3.
this is called Super Mario Advance 2.
Yeah,
right?
I think Advance 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario 3.
I'm looking this up right now on these releases.
On
the Super Mario wiki of all things.
It's so ridiculous that they did it this way.
Oh, see, no, the first one they put out was Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Brothers Advance 2.
Yeah, Super Mario Advance 4 was Super Mario Brothers 3.
Ugh, it doesn't make any sense. And then Yoshi's Island is Super Mario Advance 3, which is Super Mario World 2. Oh my god, it makes my head explode.
So I've been playing that. I played a little bit of Windjammers.
Mm-hmm. Love Windjammers. I one time I saw this Windjammers game out in the wild. One time. I remember I was down in Atlantic City, and my parents, my mom specifically, would go gambling all the time, and I would just go to the arcade. And one of the casinos had Windjammers, and I was like, "What is this game? I've never seen this before. It is insane. It's like Ultimate Frisbee, right? And it's like a head-to-head thing. You use this Frisbee disc, and you have to knock it into the other person's goal, right? It's very weird, but a great game.
And lastly, I've been playing a little game you may have heard of, a little game you may have heard us talk about because we both played it at PAX. Well, no, you played it at PAX. I didn't play it. Mm-hmm. The Messenger for the Switch.
Oh my god, so good. Are
you
liking it?
So good. I am loving it. I've only, because we were playing A Way Out last night, I only got through 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is really good. I'm going to put it out there. This is probably going to be on my Game of the Year list.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely, it is that good. I just hope we get a physical edition at some point.
Right.
Limited run.
I know. I'm gonna just have to get this because it's fantastic. From the big demo that I saw and the enthusiasm of the developer, super cool dude. He was just awesome and just super energetic, and you could tell that this was his baby. And he was like, "I'm so excited for this game," and it shows. It's just amazing. So I got to get it now and get it again when it comes on physical because And we asked him too. He was like, yeah, we would really like to put it out there, but we don't know what the reception's going to be and whatnot. I'm like, guaranteed this game's going to blow up. You need to partner up with Limited Run to make this happen.
All right, so I actually picked that up. I already said I picked up Dead Cells, Shenmue 1 and 2. I finally got my limited. Speaking of Limited Run, I got my Limited Run Switch games. I got Saturday Morning RPG that came in.
Oh, nice.
I got Mercenary Kings Reloaded Edition came in for the Switch. And I picked up We Happy Few for PS4, which I have not popped in yet.
Right. I've heard some mixed things about that.
I've heard some mixed things about it too. I want to play it, but Spider-Man's right around the corner. It's coming out this week.
Right. Oh, it's already begun, folks. It's already begun. The holiday blockbuster season is upon us.
So, what did you pick up? You get any good pickups?
I got some good pickups for sure. The Metroid Prime trilogy for Wii, which I don't know if I mentioned before, but
I think you mentioned that already because you got that for a good price. Yeah,
I got that for a very good price. Well, I'm going to mention it again because I got it for a really good price.
He just loves it so much.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I got like a 20% discount because it was my birthday month, which I did not realize GameStop did. So thank you, GameStop. And then $5 off with the reward points. So yeah, it came out super cheap, well under the going price for it. Samurai Showdown for the Super Nintendo, which is awesome. Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. Epic Mickey for the Wii. Virtua Fighter 5 Online for the 360. First time it came to a Xbox console. Dead or Alive 1 Ultimate for the 360, which I think was part of the Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. I think you got 1 and 2 remastered. Because I looked at the back of this thing and it didn't have a barcode. And I'm pretty sure it came in a 2-pack, if I remember correctly. Super Street Fighter 4 for the 360 didn't have that. I have Ultra and Street Fighter 4 for the 360. So now I have all 3 versions physical.
Nice.
Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, my favorite Call of Duty game. Battlefield 3 limited edition, which I forgot I had already. I got it for $1. I got it for $1 from GameStop. So I was like, I wasn't upset. And the Bureau XCOM Declassified for PS3, and your favorite franchise, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Nice.
To close it out. They had it for $10. Nice. How could I not get it?
You gotta hurry up and beat Nathan Drake Collection so you can play this game.
I know, right? I'm already in the middle of 2, so I'm getting there.
This has got to be on the games you're playing. Like, you got to play that.
All right. It's I'm moving it up on the list. Moving it up, right. But I have to get through 2 and 3 before I play 4, though. I mean, that's just how you do it. Can't skip.
All right. So why don't we take a break? And when we come back, we'll get into the top 15 gaming news of the last 3 weeks. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 15 gaming news of the last 3 weeks. We're going to do something a little different this episode. We're going to start off with our leading story, just because there is no easy way to talk about it, and there's no easy way to transition out of it. So we're just going to deal with it head on. We're going to talk about the mass shooting at a video game tournament that happened in Jacksonville. I got to be honest. When we first said we were going to, do the podcast and talk video games, talk video game news, I never thought I would ever have to talk about something like this.
Yeah, you never think it's possible. You never want to be in this situation where you have to cover it, but it's necessary. It's necessary. So I think everyone may know by now, but there was a shooting at a Madden competition down in Jacksonville, Florida.
They were qualifying events.
And I believe one of the contestants who lost was the one who shot up the place.
I haven't seen any details to that effect, but if that is the case, that's just words can't express how sad that is, right? It's just a video. At the end of the day, it's just a video game.
Exactly. But then if you take a step back too, like, and you look at it further, somebody came there with the intent to shoot that place up, right?
That's true.
So, he came there with a gun and shot people up. David Katz is the guy's name. Apparently, the guy they took into custody is a 24-year-old gamer from Baltimore, Maryland. He was down there for the tournament at the GLHF Game Bar. I'd not heard of that before.
Wait, I thought the guy who did the shooting took his own life.
Well, I'm just kind of reading the notes here from CNN, but he brought a gun into the venue, opened fire, killed 2 people, and then turned the gun on himself.
Yeah. So he wasn't taken in custody. He killed himself.
Right. He ended up killing himself after that.
There were 4 people as of right now that. From what I saw, there was 4 people dead, 11 people injured.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I can't even, words can't express how sad this is. I mean, it's like, this mental health is a real issue and people need help. I mean, it's just a video game. Mm-hmm. I understand you're disappointed or you practice so much to, you know what? Screw that. It doesn't even matter if it's a video game or actual, athletic sports event game or a movie or anything in life where you lose.
Mm-hmm. Any kind of competition.
Any type of competition. I mean, it's not worth killing other people and taking your own life.
Mm-hmm. Not at all. Not at all. And this guy has won. He's won past Madden competitions before, so he's definitely been there before and whatnot. I don't know how the guy was as a person and whatnot. I don't know. If he was just kind of a normal dude and whatever else. And, I'm suspecting here that, just like what you said, that it's a mental health thing,
Which is why, I mean, again, we don't want to get too political or political at all on this show, but this is why there needs to be tougher gun laws out there, right? Mm-hmm. People like this can't get their hands on a gun.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah. And I'll say this, right? You can be on whatever side of the gun laws that you want to be on. More guns for everybody, less guns for everybody. That's fine. And you can argue your points till you're blue in the face, right? I think the one thing that's irrefutable is mental health, right? If you're going to say, yes, more guns for everybody, right? Because don't take my gun rights away. I understand. I think you're wrong, but I understand. But you have to be for funding of mental health in mental health facilities and just federal funding, state level funding, right? Because obviously nobody wants people who are unstable to have guns, right? And if you defund mental health services, things like this will happen, guns will fall into the wrong hands, So it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I guess one of the things that also came out of this too, I read this, I think yesterday, one of the contestants, I think who got grazed or whatever or shot, not dead, but he's suing the he's suing for lack of proper security, right?
Yeah, no,
and,
he is.
It kind of got me thinking a little bit because you started reading the comments and there was some back and forth and some people were like, well, how much can somebody do? How much can one organization do and this and that? You need to have metal detectors, right? This guy came into the competition with a gun, obviously had some sort of intent if he ended up losing and, had some intent to use the gun and whatnot. Everyone should be screened who's coming into that event through metal detectors. They have them at conventions. They have them at airports. They have them at, they have them everywhere, right? It's kind of necessary in that case. That would have, either deterred him from bringing in the gun, or B would have caught him at the gate, and that that would have been it.
It's just surprising. We go to PAX, right? PAX East. We go to other video game events, and they have metal detectors that we have to go through.
Yeah.
Right. It's
I think it was the same at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo had metal detectors. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they had metal detectors there.
Well,
I don't remember. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But any event, stuff like this, tournaments especially, where you have people, tempers could flare, right? Mm-hmm. Emotions run high. You should have metal detectors here.
Yeah.
to deter anybody from bringing in any type of weapon.
Right, right. And I'm just gonna go ahead and come out and say it. Whether you like Madden or not, I'm not saying anything about that, but it is very much a bro game, right? It is very much a game that kind of encourages that kind of
Well,
not necessarily shooting behavior, but it's very aggressive.
Listen,
Just like
passions run high, I'm sure,
Yeah.
at Overwatch tournaments.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
You put so
Call of
much hard
Duty,
work. Yeah, you
sure.
put so much hard work into practice, preparation.
Right.
Like any other, competition,
Mhm.
and to lose, especially if you lose bad, it can be
Yeah.
heartbreaking. But I
It's
mean,
highly competitive. It's very stressful.
that
Yeah.
gives no, excuse for someone to harm someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So you just, I don't know. It's heartbreak. It's so many emotions are running through. I don't have the words to express
Mm-hmm.
like how sad this is. But
Yeah, definitely.
I give EA credit. They canceled the last 3 Madden Classic qualifying events.
Mm-hmm.
They investigate to see how they can improve on security. And they also donated $1 million to the victims of Madden tournament shootings.
Right.
Madden
And
tournament
that's,
shooting.
100% great. I'm not going to diminish any of that. Yeah.
So, this definitely should be metal detectors, definitely should look into mental health issues. And I don't know if they have any type of program for the people who actually lose, or, I'm sure these Madden events, there's money involved too, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's big money, video
Well,
games. Is big money.
there's definitely cash prizes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if if there are any like consolation prize for people who made it to the qualifiers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they probably get they like probably get a gift bag or something. I bet. I'm
Yeah,
sure they get something for coming down there.
but it needs to be, I don't know if this. Maybe they should have counseling to talk to these guys, talk to people who lose. I don't know what the answer is. I just know the answer. There needs to be something. Needs to be more done so something like this doesn't happen again.
Right, 100%. I mean, I think all esports competitions now are gonna, they're definitely gonna be looked at with a bigger eye on security. Now that kind of this has gone down.
So there is no way to transition out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna say let's move on to the next news story. Let's talk about Nintendo Indie Directs. There were 2 of them in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna combine this and let's talk about both directs. These are some of the games that sort of stuck out to me when I watched both directs, which was kind of weird that the first direct that came from Gamescom was from Nintendo UK,
Right.
and then the second direct sort of was from Nintendo of America.
Mm-hmm.
The UK one, sort of, it was more of like these are more obscure games I've never really heard about,
Mm-hmm.
right? But this one game, the first game they showed, Night Call, stuck out to me. That's coming early 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Just read a little bit about it real quick. It's a serial killer as a serial killer stalks the streets of modern day Paris. You're a taxi driver and the last person to see the most recent victim alive. Night Call is an investigative noir game with 2 goals. You can solve a murder mystery and make enough money to pay your bills.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It is a one of a kind game.
So you can, as you investigate this murder, because you are a taxi driver, you are not a cop.
Right. You have to go and make your bread for the day, so you can definitely live.
You can forsake information, right, for money because you got to pay bills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, but you also want to find the person who killed the last victim, which you gave a ride to.
Uh-huh.
It's an interesting type of game. It's
Right.
something that caught my eye. It really did when I saw this, when I saw the direct. I probably will pick this up. I'm 100% sure this is not going to be a physical release, at least when it comes out in early 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely will check it out. This better be, in my eyes, this seems like it's a $15 game. If it's $20, I'll probably pass.
Mhm.
I would pay $15 for it though.
Yeah, this Night Call, it feels a little like I don't know if you ever played Papers, Please.
No, never played that.
Papers, Please was you were a customs agent working the border of this fictional Eastern Bloc country or whatever, right? And you basically had to figure out if these people had legal papers or not to get them in the country. And the more people you process, the more like money you made. and you had to also you had to keep the heat on, you had to keep food and water in your family's belly, right? And if you didn't make enough money, you had to make a decision like, do we eat? Do we have heat?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I wonder if it's by the same studio. I'm not sure.
All right, so the next game that really, like, I've been waiting for this game because I actually played it at PAX East earlier this year, was Monster Board, the Cursed Kingdom. It's coming out, as a release date of November 6th. It reminds me of the Wonder Boy game, right? That came out for the Switch, and they came out for the PS4.
Yeah. The Wonder Boy remake, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So Monster Boy, you pretty much can change between like a pig, a snake, a frog, a dragon, and a lion, and each of them have special abilities that you can get through that level. So I played a little bit of it at PAX East, and I think it wasn't my top 3 game of the show. I don't remember, but it definitely was up there. Sort of my top 10 games of PAX East. Definitely 100% top 10 games of PAX East. So I've been waiting for this game. It had a placeholder. I wanted to pre-order it. It had like a placeholder release date of like December. So, but now I know it's coming out in November. I'm definitely picking this up. I'll pick it up for the Switch. Windjammers, we talked about that. One of the games I've been playing for PS4.
Love that game.
That's actually coming out October 23rd for the Switch. But the big news was they announced Windjammers 2 coming out in 2019.
Oh, so excited. So excited.
You saw this game one time in a wild, and you really like all about this game.
Dude, it's great. I obviously like sought it out and played it since, and I have the limited run PS4 edition and whatnot. First game was great, and the I guess remake or port or whatever was just the OG game. So it only had 6 characters, it was a little light on the roster and whatnot, a little light in the stages and all that. So I'm glad to see a sequel coming. Hopefully they double the roster, more stages, new mechanics. Like it's kind of like one of those games that it's like Super Dodgeball, right? There are no other good games like that, right? It's a very unique thing, right? Windjammers is very unique. There is no other game like Windjammers. That's why that's kind of why I like it so much. Like it's a solid, good game. Graphics are great, sound is great, the gameplay is tight, and you can't get that experience anywhere else.
The question is, will this come out? I mean, it's coming out in Switch. Will we get a physical release? Like, because Windjammers came out through limited run.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So is this going to be like a limited run?
I
PS4,
bet.
Switch?
I bet they already have those inroads. They already made the first one like that. The second one, they've obviously secured the license to it and all that. So, whoever, I think it was Atlas, maybe not Atlas. I forget who put out the Windjammer sequel or the remake or whatever. But I feel like it's a good possibility.
Terraria, that's coming out for the Switch 2019. I actually have that game for the Wii U. And Morphe's Law, that's out now. Keep up with that. I know everyone was sort of psyched because they saw that. I think that was like in another Nindies event earlier in the year.
Well, yeah, it's like a third person shooter, I think, where whatever body part you hit on your opponent, you grow, right? So like if you're shooting somebody in the legs, their legs get real big and then they shrink, right? So you can turn like massive. You can become the size of the level, which prohibits you from going into certain areas and allows you to access other areas and vice versa,
and smaller wall you can get through cracks and small vents, holes, whatever, to maneuver around.
Very interesting.
But it got a little of a lukewarm reception when it came out. So I haven't kept up with it. I haven't seen what people think some of the issues are. Maybe I'll check it out. We'll see. All right, so in the second direct, the one that came out in Nintendo America, we got a lot of release dates for games that we already sort of played on other platforms, more ports. We got the port of Hyper Light Drifter that's coming out September 6th.
Yep.
That actually has a special level that's Switch exclusive.
That's fantastic. I might as well just hold out for it because I don't have Hyper Light yet, surprisingly.
Okay. All right. I mean, I've played it. I played it in PS4. I actually have the PS4. Yeah, I have the physical release for PS4 that came out by I Am 8-Bit. I think it was I Am 8-Bit that put that out.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I have that. Tirefall. I was about to say Tirefall. Towerfall. That comes out September 27th.
Say that 10 times fast.
Towerfall. There you go.
Towelfall.
Towerfall. Towel. The towel has fallen. Treasure Stack, a game that I think that I'm not really into that, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, Dave would love this game. It seems like a game you would love because it's like a take on Tetris, and you love Tetris style type games.
I love Tetris. I saw the video for this Treasure Stack, and it's essentially Tetris Attack, where you end up moving the pieces around to kind of create the combos and whatnot. And it's got a pixel art style, obviously, so that's always good.
A game that I thought, honestly, when I blinked and then I looked and I was like, is this another Towerfall game? Right? Like I thought this was like Towerfall 2 or something like that, because it's definitely has the same art style. It's Samurai Gun 2.
Yeah.
Early 2019. I had never heard of Samurai Gun. Apparently it came out PC only. They canceled the PS4 and Vita port back in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. It looks fantastic. It's sort of like a party platformer. You get 3 bullets in the gun, and you have your samurais. Obviously, you have your samurai sword.
Yep.
It just looks wild and crazy.
Yeah. I remember seeing some gameplay of this, of the original one. It was PC only. It was supposed to be on PlayStation 4, but that got canceled, sadly. But
the sad part is the Vita version got canceled. We don't need any more Vita cancellations. Vita Island for life,
stop
baby.
Making the system. Come on.
Vita Island for life, baby. I'm just saying. And then we had a montage of several games. And Wasteland 2 Director's Cut's coming to the Switch.
Very nice.
And Transistor, fantastic game. That's actually also coming to the Switch.
Lots of ports.
We get lots of indie games coming to the Switch. Some people think, the Switch. As soon as the Switch was released and we got like a flood of indie games last summer, I said this was the Vita killer. This was like the nail in the coffin for the Vita, right? And it's true, because now we're getting all these ports that they're coming to the Switch. Some people say maybe too many indie games, right? We talked about it before, where it's like they want to put out like 30 indie games, like a week?
A week?
I think it was a week. And good games can get buried, right? Like if you blink for 2 weeks because you're playing the Messenger and you look and it's like so many different indie games are coming out. They need a better way to bring great games to the top, right? So I don't want to hark on that too much, but again, lots of indie games coming to the Switch. Lots of games coming to. I want to see more AAA games coming to the Switch. Next year, I want to see a Call of Duty game for the Switch. Come on, make a Switch port, please.
Maybe not Call of Duty, but I see where your head's at. I see where your heart's at. Right.
Yes, I want to see more. I want to see more AAA games come to the Switch.
Sure.
Look, Bethesda's doing it. I want to see other companies follow suit. All right, let's continue with actual games coming out for the Switch. There was a big rumor out earlier in August that the new Super Mario Brothers U would be coming to the Switch, and I think they said this year as well. So we got our big open world Mario game last year. So this year we could be getting our sort of 2D Mario.
I don't see why not. I mean, Nintendo's been doing this with all of their old hits. The games that were great that nobody played. So, I'm with it, as long as, like you said, as long as the AAA titles come along with it.
Well, what would you call it though? I mean, it was called New Super Mario Brothers U. Which obviously they can't call it that.
Why not?
Maybe call it New Super Mario Brothers Switch. Right, and then
put
some new levels. Put some new levels.
Changing it? Well, I mean, if you're going to add some new stuff to it, then you have to change the title. If it's just going to be a straight port, then I'm just keep it the same.
Switch it up. Add some new levels. They can make it. This is a money grab, right? Like you can add some new levels to it. You're porting the same game and just adding levels to it.
I mean, they could do it without porting the levels, and people would still buy it because
I would buy it
because it's on a good system. It's on an awesome portable handheld system.
I would say call it New Super Mario Brothers Switch, and just add like add new stages, levels, maybe another mechanic. But then you get into that territory of, if you add too many new things, is this a port or is this a new game? Right?
Right.
Look at Smash Brothers. It's really a port, but they added so many new things to it. They're calling it new game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you hate that. That's why I say it.
I kind of do. I kind of do.
It's a port. I'm sorry. They're porting every character ever made.
No.
Anyway. All right. Also, that was making a rounds earlier in the month. There was a big rumor about a Switch Pro coming out in 2019. It would have significant, powerful upgrades. I just don't see this happening. Like this is something I say is totally false, not coming at all. Especially in 2019. If it comes in 2020, 2021, I can see that maybe, but I don't see this happening anytime soon.
You don't see the upgraded Pro version coming out next year.
If anything, I could see the light switch,
The
as
light
you call
switch. It needs to be
coming
called
out.
the light switch.
And
I would totally buy the light switch. And we were kind of talking a little bit before the show. I think you made a pretty good point. Is if they do the light switch, obviously it wouldn't be as full featured as the regular one. It'd be a little bit smaller. Maybe the Joy-Cons don't come off. Then that's a good replacement for the 3DS, right?
I can't see them putting out a Switch Pro that's more powerful and clearly more expensive, because they really want to hit that mark. They want to hit that $150 mark, right? I mean, they talked about it. I mean, the new president of Nintendo, he talked about them wanting to hit that lower price tier, because he said parents aren't going to want to buy all if they have 2 or 3 kids at home, they don't want to buy them all the kids $300 systems, right? They may want to spend, I'll get the Switch for Christmas, and then for your birthday, maybe you'll get, sort of like that lesser tier. You get $100, $150 3DS or 2DS, which is more affordable, right? And has a big library of games anyway. So I can see them maybe after 2019, maybe 2020, when everyone else is putting out their more powerful consoles, right? The next gen. I can see Nintendo going, discontinuing the 3DS. Then the Switch will have a big library of indie games, as we just talked about. And they put out the light switch, right? Where maybe the screen's a little bit smaller and their Joy-Cons don't come off. It'll look like the Vita. Essentially, it'll look like the Vita.
I would say at minimum they could maybe do it for 200. I'd probably say like 250 maybe.
No, I think they want to go below that 200 mark. Maybe like
you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to Switch hardware. No way.
I think 189.
No way.
Look, from a marketing standpoint, trust me, I took marketing.
Yeah, no, it would be great. You could have it for $10. That would be the best thing. But
all right, now you're being ridiculous.
I'm just saying, they have hardware costs and whatnot. Like they can only take
the
so
3DS,
far down.
The 3DS at one point was like 189, right? Like that you hit that 189 mark.
Well, yeah, okay. The 3DS that wasn't XL, the 3DS that wasn't new, it was the standard 3DS, right? They had newer models that were more powerful.
Yeah.
That's the difference,
I think they want to hit that less than $200. 189 would be perfect. 150.
It would be. That'd be an awesome. That'd be an awesome
149, 149, 189 is the market.
149? You're insane.
I think they would hit that. I mean, the screen quality.
It's going for $300 still right now, and they're not making much off it.
I know, but the light switch is different because the Joy-Cons won't be.
But it still has to be able to play Mario Odyssey. It still has to be able to play Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry, Breasts of the Wild. It still has to be able to play everything. So the hardware inside, maybe they get rid of the little camera sensor thing on the front. The Joy-Cons are hardwired. They can bring it down.
You don't need the rumble or anything. You don't need all that special. I don't need to feel the ice cubes. You're not playing 1-2 switch.
Well, it wouldn't matter because the controllers. The controllers don't come off. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're not playing 1-2 switch with this, so you don't need all that. You could just be regular.
Sub 200 would be impressive, but I don't know.
Again, this would be 2020, so we're 2 years removed, where things are a little bit cheaper. The screen probably won't be as good, maybe.
It's already 720. I don't think it can be any worse.
Well, the screen maybe be a little. I mean, I don't think it'll be the same size as the Switch. I think.
Oh,
the screen will
well,
be a
the
little bit
size wise,
less.
it'd be a little smaller. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the size wise, it'd be a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and if you look at it historically, Nintendo hasn't really put out a more powerful console than its successor, other than the 3DS XL. But it had the new 3DS XL, and we only had like 2 games that came out that needed the new 3DS XL to work.
Mm-hmm.
So historically, you don't just put out a more powerful console. They could change that. I just doubt it. Not to mention, I think they wouldn't put out a whole new console if it was like that, because I think the portability is what it is.
Portability, yeah. I mean, that's like the key factor. It always has to be portable.
So I think that it is what it is. I think they would put out maybe a more powerful dock that's ventilated better, so it doesn't warp, and it maybe can spit out a higher resolution on your TV. If you have a 4K TV, maybe it'd be like a 4K dock. I don't know how that works, but I would think that would be more.
Well, everything that you're saying is we have these problems. We need to address these problems. A new version will address these problems, or a new version will allow us to hit a different price point, and then thus get in all these new gamers, get on all the kids who can't afford a $300 console, but they can afford a $200 console, it's a little more like appealing. So like both those things make sense.
Because it's not just the console, right? Like if you buy a Switch right now, it's $299, $300. You still got to buy a game, right? And
so it ends up being like $360 most likely.
Ends up being like $360.
Yeah.
So where you get it for $260, you can get that, and you get Zelda Breath of the Wild that will last. Oh, Mario, and that game will last you, hours and hours and hours, right? So, all right. Sticking with Nintendo, the guy who used to cover Nintendo for IGN, Philip Mewson. We talked about him at length a couple episodes ago. This guy.
He plagiarized his Dead Cells review. He plagiarized his FIFA 18 review. He even plagiarized his resume on LinkedIn. Come on, dude. Come on.
Listen, he does lots of research. He
does lots of research by copy and pasting other people's work.
He does lots of research.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
he gets worst dude of the year. Well, yeah, he gets number 2 worst dude of the year.
I gotta be honest.
Trump gets worst dude of the year.
I gotta be honest. So Jose Otero used to be the voice of Nintendo. He's a fellow New Yorker from the Bronx. He was awesome. Loved him. Loved his passion. Loves him. Enthusiasm. He used a little background. He was a teacher. He was a grade school teacher before he became a IGN journalist in New York City. So he left and he went to work for Nintendo directly, because I'm just gonna put it out there, working for IGN, you're not gonna get rich, right?
Sure.
And they live in, the most expensive, or if not the second most expensive place to live in America, San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco is more expensive than New York, let me tell you.
So he went to go work directly for Nintendo, like a lot of actual Nintendo editors. Nintendo editors go work for Nintendo eventually, right? Which is funny. So you know what, he was the best. I'm gonna miss him. Pierce Schneider, who is sort of the GM of IGN, took over briefly, and he did an awesome job too. And he's old school, man. He was one of the original writers on IGN. When they were called N64.com.
Way back when. Going back to the roots.
Going back to the roots. I remember those.
96.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
So, Philip Newton, when Philip came in, I never heard of him. He was a YouTuber. He had a decent following, like 62,000 followers, and he was, on Spawn Wave and all that stuff. He was a little semi-awkward because he did a lot of ums. He did a lot of okay, when he did the podcast.
It's the mark of somebody who's hasn't new. Put their 10,000 hours in, right? They're new. Yeah. They're kind of nervous. They may have all the information in the world. They may know everything about video games, but speaking in that natural tone, having things like come fluidly to you, whether you spent a lot of time prepping or you're just really good at speaking, you obviously needed to put some time in.
I gotta be honest, in his early days when he took over the podcast, NVC, Nintendo Voice Chat, it was a little unbearable. I like the first 2 episodes.
Right.
He was the captain of the ship. I couldn't really listen to it.
Right.
But I loved Nintendo Voice Chat, and I loved hearing their opinions on Nintendo games.
Right.
So I stuck it out, and you know what? He grew on me a little bit. And I felt bad for him. I was like, he's new, and no one's gonna be Jose, like no one's gonna be Greg Miller, right?
Exactly.
So I let him. I gave him a break. I gave him a pass, and he just grew on me over the months.
Mm-hmm.
So he still, even his last Nintendo Voice Chat, a lot of ums. His transitions were ums. Yeah. Okay, let's go into the next one. He was pretty. He grew on me, but he's now gone. He plagiarized the Dead Cells review. However, this was a debate that I think we talked. I don't think we recorded. I think before we recorded that show, when we first talked about him, we were debating before we started about whether or not they should take down everything he ever did.
Yeah. I mean,
but
at this point, well, I mean,
knowing
what we know now is different than
all his reviews.
Because they did. We knew of the Dead Cells thing, so you take that down, and they did everything right in that respect. They gave credit to the guy that Philip Mewson stole from. They took down his review. They offered an apology and all that. They did everything. They hyped this YouTuber guy who got ripped off. They hyped him up so much, IGN did, and they distanced themselves from Philip. He got fired right away. That was great. And we were saying back and forth, and then the FIFA thing came out, and then we found out his resume was plagiarized. That is not a joke. At that point in time, in my thinking is you know what? Just take everything down, get yourself out of the Philip Mewson plagiarism game, and just have someone re-review it. How much does it take to re-review a game? That's my stance on it, right? Instead of having people investigate, right? Instead of spending resources on an investigation and doing research and figuring out, okay, this one's good, but this one's not, just redo them all, because there's probably a good chance that it's plagiarized enough to where, okay, we need to take it down and have someone re-review it.
Well, they took down every review here, every posted. Pending an investigation. Right. Some things may go back up if they can't, because it's so hard to see if he plagiarized another YouTuber.
Right, because you have to you can't just reference word for word. You have to listen to all the stuff and then compare against the written, right? Yeah.
So it would be so hard to see that, and it would be hard to re-review everything he ever did, because think about it. Right now, everyone went to Gamescom, now they're back, and they have to go. Some people are at PAX West, and then you have Tokyo Game Show, right? And then you have Paris Games Week, and then we go into the holidays of Thanksgiving, and then the Video Game Awards, and the PlayStation Experience, and then it's Christmas, and it's New Year's.
You're making a good point.
And then all the brand new games that just came out, right?
Right. It is not the slow season. Christmas one is almost here, so honestly though, push comes to shove, you could definitely make it happen. Somebody has to stay a couple extra hours here and there to do the reviews. You pepper them throughout the next couple of months, and then boom, there you go. Done and done. Because I don't know how many reviews. He's been there less than a year. How many reviews could he have accrued? 30, 40 maybe at best?
That's still a lot though.
I know, but you have each person do one a week. If there's 5 different reviewers, right? You'll have it done in you have it done in 8 months, all right? If you have 10 different you have 10 different reviewers, you can have it done in 4 months. And that ain't bad. That gets you right in time for Christmas. And then Philip is taken off the site.
Yeah, I can't see this something that's going to happen quick. Right. I think they're going to end up just leaving some of that stuff blank.
Right.
Or re-reviewing it years and years later.
That may be. Nobody's really clamoring for the review of Yoshi's Woolly World on the 3DS, the game is come and gone, it's good to have that content there, but nobody's clamoring for it. So it's not in high demand, right?
Yeah.
The Dead Cells thing, obviously in definitely high demand. So they had someone re-review that right away and they put that up. So that's all taken care of, but.
All right.
Yeah.
A game that's not coming to the Switch, which by all accounts, I think it's not coming to the Switch.
No,
This
it's
game,
never coming to the Switch.
It's impossible to come to the Switch.
Well, not anytime soon. Not
Not anytime soon. Maybe the Switch Pro, if that thing is real.
Maybe, or I mean, we stranger things have happened. We have Wolfenstein Wolfenstein came out for the Switch, so they can do AAA titles. They can do new games. They can do new games.
We finally got to see the gameplay footage for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh my god, fantastic! Like 50 minutes of gameplay footage.
50 minutes of gameplay footage and narration. I watched it twice.
Yeah.
This game looks incredible. This game is next gen. I don't think this game. It may come out for this generation, but I think this is going to be a launch game for the next generation.
I mean, I think you're right. I think it is going to be on next gen consoles, but I feel like they're going to do it if the game is ready, which by all accounts, it's in a pretty good spot.
You can finish the story right now from start to finish.
Yeah. So the game is technically complete. They're obviously going to put a lot more polish and a lot more work into it, but like I think they're going to do it like Grand Theft Auto 5, where it came out on previous gen consoles now, like at the end of their life cycle, right? It came out in 2013, right? And then they made 2 years later, they made the upgrade version. They made the Xbox One and the PS4 version of Grand Theft Auto 5, right? And that was like the greatest thing. I'm pretty sure people bought the game twice.
It's still selling. The game is still selling.
I know. So and CD Projekt Red, I don't want to call them necessarily an indie studio, but they're not EA, but they have a lot of resources. They make AAA big games. The Witcher 3 has over 100 hours of gameplay in it. Like just
all free DLC. Free DLC.
Well, mostly, yeah. Most of it is free. They did have 2 paid DLC packs, but there was like 14 or 15 DLC things that were free. Yeah, which is insane. So I could see them doing that. Unless the game isn't fully ready. If it's not fully ready, then maybe it does slip on the next gen. Maybe it is a 2020 release.
Just the level of detail was incredible, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we should definitely get into some of that.
He had that high powered, he had that high powered gun that was just that rifle, high powered machine gun. There we go. I was about to say rifle, where she's like ducking undercover. Well, real quick, just to go back, you could pick a female, male character. Mm-hmm. The demo, they had a female character. I guess she's sort of like a bounty hunter, right? Or something like that. Mm-hmm. She wasn't exactly police. And they were looking for a target, and this guy had like a high powered machine gun, and she's like ducking under cover, and he's just tearing that wall up. Yeah, and it's like you got to move, you got to keep moving. Mm-hmm. Just like when she goes to shoot him, she's like sort of moving the cans out the way, and it's like the can is actually falling in the direction it should be falling if this was real.
Yeah, I mean, like, the physics make sense. Everything just looks so lifelike. Like, this
is a mature game too. They made sure to tell you that this
100%,
game is a mature. This is for a mature audience because they don't shy away from body parts.
I mean, if anybody was on the fence of like, is this going to be a PG or a rated R game? There are straight up tits in this gameplay trailer.
There are breasts. Yes, there are lots of breasts.
Right, and I mean, you shouldn't be surprised if anyone's played any other Witcher games. They legit have nudity, like straight up, in the game, and it kind of like it works in that sense, right? It's not necessarily gratuitous. Like you see a body in a tub, right? And obviously the body isn't gonna have necessarily clothes on there because they're in a tub. It's it's wet. They're probably gonna be naked. So like that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so that was incredible. Your gear, just like it's an RPG, action RPG. So your gear, obviously, you can upgrade your gear to give you, make you faster, make you stronger. Mm-hmm. It's like like a shield, but you get street cred too. So, and he pretty much said it like it's an experience. Street cred is a form of experience that's opened up by all the side missions that you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you basically get cool points, right? Like, if you have the bomb-ass leather jacket, walking around town, that'll definitely open up some doors for you, which I am all about.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. no loading screens. This whole thing had no loading screens. The whole demo had no loading screens.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's
Crazy.
That is insane.
But the craziest thing to me, other than what everybody's going to talk about and we'll talk about in a second, was he said that during the narration, they said the NPCs are living their lives in a full day and night cycle. So everyone's doing, like, the NPCs aren't just randomly walking around, right? Like you would see in any other game. Like, they're walking around during rush hour because they're doing stuff during rush hour. So during rush hour, you will see more NPCs walking around, going to work, trying to catch a train, driving around. At night, there will be less people outside because more people, they're home. There's not going to be a lot of people during rush hour in the main, I guess, like sort of like in the main square. So
yeah, and
that makes sense.
I would say, like, okay, like, everybody talks about, like, our game is lifelike and realistic, and they kind of boast all these things. Push comes to shove, you kind of see the mechanics behind the curtains a little bit. I feel like CD Projekt Red can pull this off. When they say realistic day and night life cycles and everyone's got their own little behaviors and whatnot, and, like, I feel like they're going to knock this out of the park. I feel like I'm going to be, like, really immersed in, the game world. So, like, I am definitely super hyped to see what they do with that.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I mean, the street cred thing, like, it gives me a reason to do side missions, because street cred would be valuable in a sense, I guess, when you need things from people, right? You get that respect,
Right. Yeah. You have to be able to, negotiate, all right?
And you have, like, they have, like, their own real world currency that's based on the euro, which kind of makes sense. CD Projekt Red is from, they're not an American company.
Right.
So it's called, I think it was, like, called Night City, and you can ride around Night City freely. In a car, bicycle, whatever, you can walk around. And this is like a crime-riddled city. So every corner, it doesn't matter. They made to emphasize, doesn't matter if it's at night, doesn't matter if it's during the day. Every corner you can encounter an issue. So that it's like, you may not just roam around freely. Every time you turn around, you may
get into a bad situation. Sure.
You get into a bad situation.
You can end up in Brownsville,
which sort of leads to the point that, maybe you shouldn't just walk around, or I don't know if you can hop on public transportation, but you should drive. You should drive around, and it takes fuel too. But they made the point to emphasize that the car does take fuel, but they don't say anything about if you need money to keep refilling your car to use it.
I would assume. I mean, I have seen that mechanic before. I would assume they have something like that. There's also a motorcycle in the game too. I'd honestly be a little upset if they didn't have like a gas up mechanic and whatnot, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would be, especially since they have sort of like reward currency. I would be shocked if they didn't have, where you have to, refill your car, gas your car so you can get around.
Right.
They made a point in the beginning. You didn't know how many bullets you had, right? You couldn't see, there was no ammo count. But once you went to the doctor to upgrade your abilities, and you had like this bionic eye so you can analyze things. It's sort of, then it's like, once you upgrade, now you can see how many bullets you have. All right, now you see your ammo count.
Right. That's kind of interesting, something you kind of take for granted. You have a little ammo counter in the corner and whatnot, but you don't necessarily know how many bullets are left in your gun normally, right?
Yeah, and obviously all the guns, looks like all guns, just all weapons are upgradable. And every decision you make has consequences.
Right.
So everything you do, you can do a mission or side mission, a main mission or side mission anyway. You can do it stealth. You can go in guns blazing, but you have to keep in mind that if they are higher level, and if they're higher level enemies, maybe going guns blazing isn't the way to do it. All right. So I thought it was awesome. Like, I'm kind of stoked about this game. I can't wait to play it on my PS5.
Soon enough.
Yeah, they even had like a slow motion mechanic where she had to take this like asthma pump, and she's like asthma pumping herself. I don't know if that was for health or using the stealth mechanic, So, where it slows down everything so she can aim, while she's running.
Mhm.
And they even had she even upgraded her weapon while she was doing this side mission, and she could do like ricochet targeting, where she can sort of analyze the angle of where the enemy is on the cover and shoot, and the bullets will bounce off the wall.
Yeah,
Which was
that's
super interesting.
that's definitely kind of awesome. I'm about that. I mean, I think this game is going to be big. It has potential for game of the year. Again, this is all kind of early and whatnot, but based on their past experience and the level of detail in this video that I'm sure everybody's seen by now is just it's intense. It's intense. I am both appreciative and also like hating this game because now I have to upgrade my computer. I know it's definitely not going to run this game in any way, shape, or form that it's in right now. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. I'm going to have to do it.
Oh, yeah, you want to get this on PC.
Of course, man. You know how beautiful this game looks? I mean, obviously that video is from the PC version, right? If you want that level of fidelity, you need to have a powerful, that's my jam. That's my jam. I mean, I have to support my PC Master Race gaming brethren,
You know what? Why don't you start streaming? Why don't you stream the game when it comes out? When you're a big masterpiece. You're big master.
Yeah. I don't have anything set up for stream.
You should start streaming. Start streaming this game when you upgrade your.
All right. Sure. I'll get right on that.
You could be the ninja for Cyberpunk 2077.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that your transition? Is that your transition? Boo.
That was pretty good. Stop.
Take it back to the drawing board.
Good.
Sorry.
I thought that was pretty good.
Calling audible.
I thought that was pretty good. You could be the ninja of Cyberpunk 2077 and be streaming on your big rig. I thought that was pretty good. I was wondering
where you were going with this. Now I know.
I thought it was pretty good. Speaking of ninja.
Uh-huh.
Hiya. Speaking of ninja. He was also in the news. So he's a big time streamer of Fortnite.
Yep.
A game I just don't get. I gotta be honest.
He streamed with Drake and it blew up the internet.
It blew up the internet.
This guy is like the number one.
I still don't get it, but that's just me, not a Fortnite player.
All right.
You're
just not in the multiplayer. That's all.
I'm not in the multiplayer. He made a little news where he said he wouldn't stream with females. And his reasoning. I mean, I can understand his reasoning. I disagree. Just with
I think we should explain his position and then we can get into our thoughts on it because I think that's only fair.
Even if there's sort of like a hint of flirting that's going to take place, people are going to every single video or clickbait. People will make a video about him, like flirting with the female streamer.
Well, he's got a wife. He's got a wife. I think he's got some kids, right?
I don't know if he has kids, but he's definitely married.
Yeah. So I mean, he definitely has a wife and whatnot, and he doesn't want anything to where like, oh, hey, are you guys dating or whatever? Who is this female streamer? This and that. He doesn't want to deal with any of that stuff, right? Like that's like kind of his stance because he's got a wife and he doesn't want to put her through that, I guess, and he doesn't want to have to deal with all of that, right? That's where kind of he's coming down. He's like coming down on things. He's not against women streaming. He that's not really his MO. It's not that he doesn't want to stream with women. He doesn't want to deal with all the backlash.
He doesn't want to deal with any online harassment that may come from him streaming with other women.
Right. Now, to me, that's petty. I see this as being petty. That's like saying, oh, I'm a celebrity. I'm the biggest box office star. I'm Will Smith. Please don't take any pictures of me. Like that comes with the territory.
Listen, you say it comes with the territory, but you know what? No one should be taking pictures of me while I'm, having dinner. No one. I mean, you shouldn't. Just because.
Yeah, but that's what it is, though.
Star.
Like you have to deal with it.
No.
There's no way to get around that.
Just because you're a big star doesn't give you the right to follow me everywhere I go. Like that.
No, of course it doesn't. But it's definitely going to happen.
But it is. But it's going to happen. But it doesn't give them the right, which is why you always see something about a guy or Kanye or Will Smith punching paparazzi who gets too close.
You can't do that either.
Or-
like
or-
unless they're like
Well,
unless they're legit
no.
accosting you.
When they get too close, especially to your kids, is usually the violence usually comes in when it's like,
That's when your
geared towards
bodyguard
their
steps in.
child.
Your bodyguard takes care of that for you.
You know what? I don't want to pay for a bodyguard. All right, I'm rich. I don't want to pay for a bodyguard.
Well,
okay?
that's on you then. That's on you.
I'm
then.
hanging out in Beverly Hills with other rich people. I don't want to. I shouldn't have a bodyguard.
That's on you.
Because
That's on
I'm an
you.
actor.
That's
just
on
because
you.
I'm an actor or an athlete doesn't give you the right to go after my kids.
I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying it's naive to think it's not going to happen. And he's acknowledging that. Hey, look, this is going to happen.
This fame.
I don't want to deal with it.
This fame is new to him, right? This crazy fame is new to him, and he's trying to foresee the harassment that may come his way if he does stream with a female gamer. And I can understand his trepidation. However, I disagree with him where he can be the catalyst of change, where he can say it's okay if I'm streaming with a female gamer. And it doesn't mean I'm flirting with her. It doesn't mean she's flirting with me. We could just be having a good time. And
that's the bigger issue, because women are having a hell of a tough time getting recognized as gamers, and not just like I'm just gonna be blunt about it. Chicks with tits and
breasts
a controller. Right? Women out there are trying to legitimately be gaming streamers, right, and play games just like the boys do, and get into a industry or whatever you want to call it that's primarily been dominated by men, right? So the biggest guy in streaming right now, I guess the number one streaming celebrity, you can like call him, the person everybody knows, is saying, nah, I don't want to go ahead and stream with women. He's not against it, he just doesn't want to deal with it, right? And that's like a huge backlash, right? I could also make the argument that if you stream with another dude, who's not to say, and people will, because the internet's awful, like, oh, are you guys fucking? Like, why does it have to just be male female? Why does it have to be a hetero situation? People are going to say that. People are awful on the internet, So what's the difference?
It doesn't even have to be sexual. He can be streaming with someone else and they control him for anything. Right,
exactly.
He can get harassed for anything.
So he's getting it now. He's been getting harassment because everybody does, because that's the nature of the beast. Is it awful? Yes. Should it not happen? 100%. But it's there.
I don't fault him for feeling that way, where you don't want to deal with any potential issue. Understand.
Sure, nobody does.
I understand. Well, you know what? Listen, not everybody wants to be a catalyst for change. I understand, and that is his right to do. I disagree with him. If I were him, if I were in his shoes, I would want to be the catalyst of change, and I would say, I'm going to stream with anybody. I don't really care.
I don't even think it's. I mean, sure, it is. It is. You're right. It is. It is a step in the right direction. It is a look. Anybody can stream with anybody. It's fine. It shouldn't matter what you look like. It shouldn't matter whatsoever what your proclivities are, this and that. You're there to play a game.
I mean, again, I disagree with him. However, I can understand his trepidation. You know what? It's his right, and if he feels that he doesn't want to do it,
well, I mean, it is also our right to criticize that, which we're doing right now.
It's sad that he doesn't want to be a catalyst for change.
Right, 100%.
That's the biggest thing I would say.
100%.
All right. Well, let's stick with Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And Twitch, you know what? Twitch/Amazon, because Amazon owns Twitch, right? Mm-hmm. They're making some changes to their subscription models.
Again.
And this comes on the backs of Best Buy and GameStop changing their sort of, pre-order, not even pre-order, pre-order game, sort of game discount, right?
Sure. Their programs and whatnot, we can call them.
So Amazon has changed their program. You no longer, well, first of all, they changed it again because before you can get 20% off any game you pre-order. Now it was you can get 20% off any brand new games. So remakes didn't count as a brand new game. And now,
right, and I think also special editions are technically not covered.
Well, let me just tell you right now. I called and argued that for my special edition, and
so do I. And you will get that money. They will give you that money.
I got my God of War credit. Okay?
Yep. Yeah, they will give you that money. Yep.
However, for Amazon, they are no longer doing the 20% discount for pre-order games. Instead, they were replacing that by giving you a $10 Amazon credit.
Ugh, right. So it just goes back into their system again.
It goes back into their system.
They're making money any which way possible.
Followed suit if you were an Amazon Prime member. If you actually, if you linked your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you got to see ads for free. I mean, you got to see streams ad free.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're canceling that, and if you want to get ads free, you need to sign up for their Turbo subscription, which is $8.99 a month.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're just trying to nickel and dime out of this. They know they're the only game in town, really, right? Twitch is, I think, the biggest streaming platform ever, so they know people are going to pay, so they can do this. Is it right? I don't think so, because things you were getting previously for free, they're now going to get you for here you now have to pay $8 a month, as opposed to getting it for free with your Amazon Prime account, right? So that kind of sucks.
Well, the Twitch part is just them. That's a cash grab.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
That is them. When they first started, they sort of linked what you already the subscription you already had for Amazon. They linked it to Twitch. Now they sort of distance themselves and say, hey, if you want ad-free streams, you got to pay an additional $8.99 a month. You got to sign up for a Turbo subscription, right? The whole Amazon not doing 20% off, and the whole Best Buy ending their sort of program, and GameStop, right? These are the beginning. This is the beginning of the end for physical releases.
Oh,
that's my take.
Well, this of course. I mean, it's
and this goes hand in hand with Microsoft and Microsoft's new Xbox All Access. Okay, so Microsoft now has Xbox All Access, where you can go to a Microsoft store. This is only in store only, and you could sign up for. You do a 2-year subscription, just like you do your phone, and they will give you a console. You can get Xbox One S for $21.99 a month, or you can get an Xbox One X for $34.99 a month for 2 years. And you get no APR, no interest for 24 months, and you get 2 years free of Xbox Game Pass, and 2 years of Xbox Live Gold. So you never have to buy a game. You're tied in to the Xbox service, Pass, right? Game Pass. So you can theoretically play every new game, because they said every new game that comes to Xbox that's a first party game will be on Games Pass.
Yep.
Right? So you can play Forza, you can play Halo, and you can play whatever backlog, right? You can play the Master Chief Collection, which is 4 games in one.
Yeah. It's a great deal for anyone who doesn't have an Xbox console yet, right? And you pay it off over 2 years. It's not a $400, $500.
You own the console. You own the console,
right? You own the console. You pay it off. They put you on a payment plan. It makes sense. It makes sense. And I think it's only in the U.S. for now. I guess if it goes well, they'll, make it in other territories. However, I think this is sort of them testing it out and seeing how good it works for the next Xbox Scarlet, codename Scarlet, right? Because if this is successful, this could be something they offer to everyone day one when the next Xbox comes out. Right? Because they don't want you necessarily to buy the games. They want you to pay. They just want you in the ecosystem of Games Pass. Yeah. They basically want you to rent them for a monthly subscription fee from them, I
mean, just think about it. If you, by all the rumors, there are several different Xboxes, different consoles in the making, right? So we may have 2 versions or 3 versions of Scarlet.
Right.
We may have a console, we may have a streaming box, right? Imagine if you got the streaming box for, I don't know, $15, $20 a month, right? And then halfway through the 2 years, you decide I want to upgrade, right? I want to get the actual console because there are other games that are coming out third party that are not on Game Pass, and I want to play them, I want to buy them, and now I can afford it. And you got to pay $35 a month. It's only $15 more, right? Can you upgrade? We're getting to the point where it'd be like a phone service, right? Where you do with your phones when you upgrade,
right?
Every 2 years,
you get the extra data plan, you get the extra games and whatnot, and then you can you play those online as much as you want. Like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely coming.
This is just smart. This is just smart on Microsoft's part.
Yeah, they're getting ahead of the game, Yeah.
I think I got to be honest. I always boast about PlayStation sales and stuff like that. I think right now we have the PS2 Sony. Right now, they're cocky, they're arrogant.
Oh, Microsoft.
No, PS2 Sony. We have the PS2 Sony right now. Because the PS2 was selling like hotcakes, right? Over 100 million sold.
Sure.
And they were so cocky, they felt like they could put out anything.
So you're saying that Sony's attitude is like, we're number one and we're the best. You can't beat us.
Well, I didn't make this a news story, but they came out because they were talking about crossplay and how it's like, why would we do crossplay? We're the number one platform.
Right, exactly. Eventually, that kind of come back to bite them.
You don't need to play anywhere else for crossplay. You just need to play on PlayStation. That's it. So, this is the PS2 Sony that we have, and I hope they don't get too cocky to where they mess up the PS5 launch, right? Because the launch is important. Xbox. Sony, right? The launch is important. So Microsoft is doing everything right.
Look, Sony's gonna come around, and they're gonna come around late, and Microsoft is gonna take the number one spot again. I predict that. Sony's kind of dragging their feet because we're number one, and they're not necessarily innovating as fast enough as they should. They're not necessarily preparing for what's to come next, right?
I don't know, because if PS5 comes out, at the end of the day, it's all about the games.
Sure.
So if the PS5 comes out the gate with, great games, and then Xbox, they have great games too, and they have the service and everything. It could be a neck and neck type of thing. Right? Just don't overprice the PS5. Just don't make it $800. Don't make it $800.
$799. Damn it.
And look, everybody behind the scenes, this Xbox knows what Sony's sort of thinking. They don't know what they're going to do, but they know what they're thinking, and vice versa. Yeah. Okay. Guaranteed, because they're using a lot of the same chipsets, right? Yeah. So I'm sure AMD is like, well, listen, Microsoft is doing this, or we're saying, hey, Sony's looking to do this, right? So they have to just please don't be PS2 arrogant when you go to the next gen, because the PS, just don't do it, please. All right, we talked about Halo. You get the Master Chief Collection, Games Pass, right? We saw a little teaser for Halo Infinite. Right. We were a little confused if Halo Infinite was like a ODST or Reach, right?
Right. It didn't have a number after it, so was it part of the mainline series with Master Chief? But
it's official. They have said that Halo Infinite is Halo 6.
Right.
It will continue the story.
It's interesting why they didn't. I mean, I understand that some people get a little trepidation, like, oh, this is the 10th one in the series and whatnot, and they're a little hesitant to get into the series because they're like, what have I missed in the first 9 games? So maybe that's kind of where they're going with this. I don't know, but we do know Master Chief is going to be in it. We do know it's going to continue the story, and it is the 6th one in the mainline series, which is great. I'm very happy for that. It's good to see Chief back.
The question is, will we play as Chief throughout the whole game, or are they going to switch it around?
Well, I mean,
I don't mind playing as Locke if the story's interesting. The story is just
about because I was going to say if you bring up that's the same thing that happened during the original trilogy, right? Halo 1 was Master Chief. Everyone wanted more. Halo 2 was Master Chief and the Arbiter, and everyone was like, "What is this? I want to play as Master Chief," right? Halo 5 was also a little divided too, right? Halo 5 was the second one in that series, right? And you played as Spartan Locke for half the adventure, and then Master Chief as the other half of the adventure. Not a
I
lot
think
of
more
people like that.
But I think people were more mad at the fact that the marketing was Locke versus Chief.
Right.
Right. So you do play as Locke,
Mhm.
but you would be going against the Master Chief in some way where is this confusion of who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got that literally for one level.
Right. Didn't really play out as well as people wanted.
And then after that one level, it was, oh, Chief is the good guy. I'm still playing as Locke.
And it's like,
but
oh, okay.
I'm following his lead, right? Like,
right.
I think that was what people were most like pissed off at. That it wasn't. Cortana ended up being the ultimate bad person in the game, but it was not Locke versus Chief for majority of the game. If it was Locke versus Chief for like 10 levels, and then when you get towards the end, it's like Cortana is the bad guy, right? Or twisted thinking or programming, right? That would make more sense. And I think people would not be so mad at the marketing. Maybe they don't like the story, maybe they don't like the game.
Right.
But I think people were more mad at the marketing, that they thought this was going to be a Locke versus Chief thing.
Sure, and that would have been great. That would have shook up the narrative a little bit. I thought it would have been an interesting dynamic. And you're right, it kind of really didn't pay off in the end.
You know what did pay off?
Mm-hmm.
Sony's investment in PSVR.
Okay,
How you like that segue? How you like that segue?
That is a silver star segue. Not a gold star segue. It could have been better, but it was good. It's better than your previous
It was impromptu. You cued me. You cued me up.
Yeah, I mean, you made it to the podium. Silver's good, man. Silver's good.
I made it to the podium.
Number 2.
I got my hand raised high, baby.
Number 2. That's right. So what do we got? We got some numbers. We got some numbers in Sony's hardware, right? Is that what you're telling me?
It's sold over 80 million units, right? It's close to that. It's close to that 100 million mark, which it will hit eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the PSVR hit that 3 million mark. Now I know what you're saying, Dan. There are 80 plus million units, PS4 units out there. And only 3 million PSVR units. How is that a success?
Right.
And I'm going to say...
That's what I'm saying.
Put that up against every other VR unit. It's probably the most VR units out there is the PSVR.
Yeah. I would say it's probably the most accessible, considering that there's 80 million PS4s already established. So all you need to buy is the headset. The headset comes with everything. The headset is sub $400. It is not the cheapest, but it is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. It's cheaper than the Vive, cheaper than the Oculus. And you don't need a crazy expensive computer rig to play it, right? You have your PS4. You obviously already have your TV. You've already made those costs. You've already paid out for all that stuff, right? So you just have to get the headset, hook it up, and then you're good to go.
It would be more if they had the games. Like I have it, we both have it, right?
I disagree. I think there's a ton of good games out for it.
I just don't. There's no killer app. I mean, there's nothing.
Resident Evil 7 is great. The Star Trek Bridge Commander is great. There's that Moss game
But if you don't like survive, if you're not a big spooky game guy like me,
you can play. You can play Steep. You can play the snowboarding simulator game. You're riding down the mountain on a snowboard. I want to go
real snowboarding. I don't want to play Steep.
You're never going to go real snowboarding.
I've been snowboarding. No, I've been snowboarding.
All right. When was the last time you went snowboarding?
I was 22.
Okay, that was over 10 years ago. You can do it from the comfort of your own living room. Stay warm.
I'm snowboarding again at 42. I'm waiting for 20 years. My 20-year anniversary.
You haven't again, and you won't. I can guarantee. I can guarantee that.
That's easy money. Regardless, I can easily go this winter snowboarding.
You definitely don't think the games are there. There are a ton of good shooter games that are out.
I'm not the only one that doesn't think the games are there, though. What's the thing?
Well, you own the system. You were so hyped to buy it right away, and then you just put it aside and don't play it. I don't understand.
Because we got a bunch of experiences. I was ready for the killer app. I wanted to be ready when the killer app came, and it just never did.
Obviously it's going to take time. It's going to take time because not every game translates that easily to VR.
And the wires and the setup. I got to be honest. The setup is so many wires. There are
well, there
rules
is.
out
I
there.
mean, the Model 2 kind of fixes that, right?
Yeah, but that means I got to buy another one. I got to buy another.
Well,
VR.
but I'm just saying they've addressed that. Like the first one that came out was a little bit bulky. Model 2 is better, and it's an even better experience with the PS4 Pro, right?
Which I have.
Kinda, it ups the resolution a little bit, fixes some of the frame rate issue.
But there's rumors out there that the PS5 is being built from the ground up to be PSVR ready, right?
Sure, as it should.
So it won't have like one of those.
On this.
It won't have a go through box. It will be already installed, right? It'll be already in the machine.
Mm-hmm.
So which makes a lot of sense, and it's just the setup is just too much with the wire. It's so many wires. It's like putting it behind my entertainment system. I gotta like make sure the wires are just bunched up behind the TV.
I think you're all making excuses because I have mine always hooked up. It's sitting right on my entertainment center top, and all I have to do is pull out the headset, plug in my headphones because you can do that easy enough, and I'm good to go.
It's just too much setup, too much work.
Oh my God,
it's too much work.
Mister, I don't want to walk 5 feet to get my headset. Robinson.
I don't want to walk 5 feet. I don't.
Yeah, obviously not.
The most I want to walk is 3.5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Anything more than that, forget it.
Forget it. Forget about it. All right, let's talk about Time Splitters. Remember that? It was like
I do.
They were like Time Splitters 1, Time Splitters 2, and
Time Splitters 1 very much came out around the launch of PlayStation 2, a little bit after, I think, a couple months after maybe. Had a built-in editor, built-in level editor for that first-person shooter. That's crazy.
And there was a Time Splitters 2, and then Time Splitters like Future something. I forgot
Future
what it was.
Perfect, I think, was
Future
the
Perfect.
last one in the series. They were all out on PS2 era consoles, right?
Yeah, PS2, Xbox. Well, I'm about to say the first. I was about to say Xbox One, Xbox, the OG
original
Xbox, and GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like THQ Nordic has acquired the Time Splitters IP.
Mm-hmm.
They're just stocking up IP. I mean,
know.
are we gonna get a Time Splitters 4, which I think was
We're gonna get a Time
canceled.
Splitter something. You don't just buy the franchise and not do anything with it, Definitely.
I think we're primed for a remaster of one, 2, and Future Perfect.
I think we're primed for a brand new Time Splitters.
Well, you know what? Remind me what it is. Put out a remaster. It's the craze. People call this the remaster era, right? Like we get remasters for everything on this gen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, or you know what you do. You put out the remaster to gain hype for the new Time Splitters game that comes out. Right?
Yeah, Time Splitters 4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I'll be looking out for that. THQ going to be a major player next gen. They have so many different IPs that they're going to be flooding the gates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to see them get the WWE wrestling license back, and I want them to start making the wrestling games again because I love those SmackDown games. They were great.
And we talked about it. I mean, we talked about it that they, maybe 2K can't put their 2K WWE games on the Switch because they just haven't figured out how to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But either 2K or another company sort of put out a new series, a new WWE series on the Switch that's custom made for the Switch.
Right. I don't
obviously that port didn't work.
I don't necessarily think they have an exclusive license. They just have a license, right? I don't think it's like football, where the NFL and EA are the only people that can make.
It seems like they have the exclusive license because we've been getting 2K games for the last what?
Well, yeah, but I've seen
7 years.
They had they had a more arcadey wrestling game come out a handful of years ago. I want to say WrestleMania Legends or All Stars or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I mean, it's
it's possible. I have Legends 1 and 2 for GameCube.
Not those. There was another one that came out a couple years ago. They had 3 Legends games, I think. But so I mean, there's like those. There was one that came out maybe 2011, 2012, I think. So I don't think it's exclusive. And it's there. Like if 2K is not going to put out a wrestling game, like THQ, get on that. Get on that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of games that didn't come out, that's now coming out, actually. Hardcore. This game was done, 90% done back in 1994. And it was unreleased for the Genesis / Mega Drive.
Right. This game made by DICE, the creators of Battlefield. I did not realize they were in the game for so long. This game was basically Star Fox 2. It was done. And then Psygnosis, who was the publisher, canceled all games on the Genesis for some reason. Any game that was in production, they're like, you know what? We're done. We're moving up shop. We're moving to the next gen. We're moving to PlayStation and Saturn and N64.
But this game, Hardcore, is coming out for PS4 and the Vita.
There you go.
Courtesy of Strictly Limited Games, which is like limited run. I give you 10 guesses. Which platform you think I'm buying this for?
You only need to give me one guess, and that's the Vita. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Damn right, baby. I'm getting this for the Vita.
It looks
well,
cool.
I mean, like if it's sold out, I'll get it for PS4.
It looks like it's a Metroidvania game, I think. You kind of run around.
Shooter. Like a shooter. Metroidvania shooter.
Picking up key cards and whatnot to open up different areas, and I'm sure you get different abilities and whatnot. It looks great. Very much a Genesis game, but it looks really awesome.
You know, it would be awesome if they actually put this out on an official Genesis cartridge.
I would definitely buy that.
It'd be the last official Genesis game released.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in 94.
Wow.
Now in 2019, that's what, 25 years later? 25 years later.
Yeah, that's crazy. You want to talk about old games? Well, this game is finally getting a sequel since what, 1990? I think it was 1994.
Yeah, probably
the last game we got. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4.
This was out of the blue.
This was 1994 was Streets of Rage 3.
Nobody saw this coming. So Streets of Rage 4 is actually coming out. That's crazy. Yep, we got a little teaser trailer. We didn't see necessarily actual gameplay footage, but we did see Axel and Blaze, the titular characters from the first couple games.
It'll be a little bit different art style. It'll be like a hand-drawn visuals, right?
Yeah.
The people who made Wonder Boy.
It looks good. I kind of wish it was pixel style.
I do.
But it does, it does look good. I'm not going to say it doesn't look good. Like, they definitely put a lot of effort into it. I hope there's more characters. We just saw Axel and Blaze, which who
more do you need? You got Axel and Blaze. That's all you need.
How do you do 4-player co-op if you don't only have 2 characters?
That's easy. It's easy. You got the red Axel and the red Blaze.
Oh, get out of here! You got the red ones and the blue ones. No, I want like Skate. I want I want the giant wrestler dude. I mean, come on. First game had 3 characters. I know that. Second one I think had 4. Third one had a kangaroo in it. Where's my
You want a kangaroo? You want a kangaroo? You know what? I'll give you a possum. How about that? The fourth one is a possum.
I'll take it. Skate on the roller skates and a giant possum. Boom. There we go. And there's your 4 characters.
All right. Let's end the show with our final bit of news from Doom 2. All right, we already know we're getting Doom Eternal. I think we talked about that in the last episode. That gameplay looks awesome. You get like a grappling hook that you can only, fun fact, you can only grapple enemies. You can't like grapple hook something to go to a different section. Anything. Right. You can only grapple with enemies. And I think shotgun, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I heard. I think so. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Or don't quote me on that, but I think it's only connected to the shotgun. It's not like something you can put on any gun.
Oh, right. It's like a little like alternate fire sidearm thing or whatever. Yeah. That makes sense.
But the original Doom 2, which I remember vividly, because I remember when it came out, my father was, because I was a PC gamer back then. My father was super into it. There was a final secret that took 24 years for someone to find. Yeah. And he finally found it.
It is insane. Yeah. So apparently there's some hidden room that I guess it was on map 15, the industrial zone, right? It's Doom 2 Hell on Earth. There's an area that people have only previously been able to access by like clipping through the walls, right? You type in IDCLIP, that's the secret code right there. I can't believe I remember that. And you can just clip through walls, and there's a secret area with a bunch of stuff in it. No one was able to access it without doing that, right? Some guy, Zero Master, who's a speedrunner, I guess, found out how to do it. You're supposed to get pushed into it by a pain elemental, right? Which is weird, which you think, oh, it's probably a glitch. It pushes you through the wall and whatever else. John Romero confirms that's actually how you get to the secret. You have this monster push you into the secret area, which is crazy.
It took 24 years for someone to find it. A lot of people were born when this game came out, and they finally found the secret now.
Yeah.
Who knows if this guy is, how old is this guy? He could be a kid.
Mm-hmm. He may not have been alive when this game originally came out.
He may not have been alive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome, though. I have like great memories of Doom 2. My father was a PC gamer back in the day, and I mean, Nintendo, the NES was my first system, but I was a PC gamer for like a big chunk of years until I got my Super Nintendo. I never looked back. Consoles all the way, baby.
See, you started off on the right foot. Your dad had the best intentions to get this kid into PC gaming, and then you went all left shark, and you're like, you know what?
Consoles,
I need some Super Mario in my life.
Consoles. Well, the best video game ever to be released, the best Mario game ever to be released, Super Mario World came out.
The best Mario game to be released on Super Nintendo,
ever. That was just ever. So, I mean, if Super Mario World was released on the NES, it would have been the best Super Mario game on NES. Even with the limitations. Yeah, that game came out, changed my life, and I was like, never going back to PC.
Yeah, let's see. And still has not built his gaming box.
24 years later, still have not built. I have the monitor. I started it. I have the monitor.
We'll get you. We'll get you there. Eventually, you'll come around. All right, folks. That about wraps it up. Our mega episode 130. Thank you guys for sticking with us for this whole entire episode. We know it is a long episode, but it was chock full of good information, and we hope you enjoy. If you want to interact with us, which we love when you guys do that, you can do it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. Please take some time to do that. That helps us out a lot. We definitely appreciate that. So please like, listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.